gentlemen, you're watching the Yes Network, the home of champions.
Early morning, Yankee Stadium. Alex Rodriguez going through a vigorous workout in the field with his arm. This one's coming right into your living room. And then, of course, with the bat. Then he had a run as well. When it was all said and done, Alex Rodriguez off the DL and in the lineup today as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the world champion New York Yankees against the Toronto Blue Jays in the final game of a 3-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball along with John Flaherty. I'm Michael Kay. Hope you're enjoying your Labor Day weekend. The weather has certainly been beautiful. Another great day here at the stadium, and the Yankees have been playing great baseball. They've now won 8 in a row, and yesterday they win 7-5. It was 5-5 late in the game, and Marcus Tim stepped up.
You know, with Alex Rodriguez down, a bunch of other players have had to step up, and Marcus Timms has been one of those players. Yesterday had a lot of good at-bats, nothing to show for it, and then finally gets a slider down, puts a quality swing on it. Home run number 11, a 2-run shot. It proved to be the difference in the ball game yesterday.
Well, Marcus Timms has really picked up the slack. In his last 10 games, 11 for 35, 7 home runs, 13 runs batted in. Most home runs in the major leagues since August 24th. Yes, Marcus Timms did that, and the Yankee win helped them in the standings.
It was a big day yesterday. They won their ball game. The Boston Red Sox lost 2 games yesterday against the White Sox, and the Rays lost to the Orioles. And you see the standings, the Rays 2.5 back, and the Red Sox now in double figures, 10 games back.
Can the Yankees make it 9 in a row? Well, their starter today is Phil Hughes. Last time out, he wasn't that sharp. What's he going to bring to the party today? John Flaherty will tell you that next on segment 2. Starters brought to you by the New York Lottery. Phil Hughes will throw the first pitch, starting for the Yankees 16-6, 4.10. Brett Cecil for the Blue Jays 11-7 with a 3.74. Phil Hughes last time out didn't have his best outing at all, John.
It was a lot of work for Phil Hughes his last time out against the Oakland A's. He went 5 innings in this ball game, got some ground balls. He only gave up 4 hits and 2 earned runs, but he did walk 5. It was just one of those outings he could not put a lot of the Oakland A hitters away, and he really had to work to pick up win number 16. Yankees loved about this outing. He battled, and you can see Phil Hughes saying, "My bad, I didn't have my best stuff. You guys picked me up tonight."
Well, let's take a look at how his season is broken down. Obviously, April and May he was great. Then the ERAs got high in June and July. In August, you can't argue with the numbers, 4-2, but the ERA higher than when he wants it to be. Now we'll see how he does in the month of September. He's running out of innings. Let's say probably has about 25 to 30 left and maybe 5 starts. Well, he's hoping to get more offensive support because Alex Rodriguez is back. He's off the DL. He's in the lineups. Lineup, first pitch, baseball next on Yes. Moore and Flanagan, furnishing your style with a guaranteed delivery of 3 days or less by the 2010 Honda Clearance. It's the only thing from Honda that won't last. And by IOTV. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV. A look from the Grand Concourse at the new Yankee Stadium. Crowd continuing to file in. We'll have another big house here the day before Labor Day, the Sunday of Labor Day weekend. Yankees have taken the field. Phil Hughes taking his warm-ups, and we're taking a look at the Blue Jays starting lineup, which is presented, as always, by our good friends at Lexus. Dwayne Wise in right field leads off, batting second and playing second. Aaron Hill. Jose Bautista, the third baseman, hits third. Cleaning up and playing center field, Vernon Wells. Lyle Overbay at first base will bat fifth. Batting sixth and catching, John Buck. Adam Lynn, the DH, will bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, John McDonald. Travis Snyder, the left fielder, will bat ninth.
The Blue Jay lineup going to face right-hander Phil Hughes. We'll take a look at his numbers on the year, and they're pretty impressive. 16-6, an ERA just over 4. Only 48 walks and 149 in the third innings. We'll take a look at our scouting report on Phil Hughes. It is time to go if you're Phil Hughes. I mean, 2 in a row. The outings are not what we have come to expect from Phil, and also the bullpen has been worked a lot the last 2 games, so time to have a good outing and use your secondary pitches a little bit more. Change up and the curveball, and there is a lot of good news for Phil Hughes. 16 wins on the year, and in his career he is 6-0 in the month of September, so good times ahead for Phil Hughes.
And again, another beautiful day here in New York City. The weather has just been glorious yesterday, today, more of the same expected tomorrow. Another afternoon game, 5 in a row for the Yankees. And it'll be the Orioles who will be the opponents tomorrow. But the Yankees try to sweep the Blue Jays out of New York. Dwayne Wise is ready. Phil Hughes is ready. And let's do it here in New York City. The big right-hander deals. And the first pitch is a strike, and we are underway. Blue Jays coming at 69-66. The Yankees are 86-50, sporting a 2.5 game lead over the second place Tampa Bay Rays. Phil Hughes deals. Fastball is inside, 1-1.
Well, the Yankees have won 8 in a row. In the last 2 games, they have not done it with quality starting pitching. Nova struggled a little bit. Javi Vasquez yesterday. The bullpen has been outstanding. Sure, Phil Hughes looking for a longer outing. He's walked 5 his last 2 outings, trying to clean that up a little bit, maybe get into the 6th, possibly the 7th.
The 2-1 popped up. Derek Jeter drifts back, called off by Gardner, who makes the play for the first down. Why don't we take a look at the Yankees defense, which is brought to you by Mercedes. We've already seen Gardner, so we'll start with him. He's in left field. The center fielder is Curtis Granderson. And Greg Golson over and right as Nick Swisher gets another day off because of the knee. In the infield, Alex Rodriguez back. He's at third. Derek Jeter at short. Ramiro Pena gives Robinson Cano the day off. He's at second. And Mark Teixeira at first. Jorge Posada is behind the plate. And Phil Hughes on the mound facing Aaron Hill. And there's a strike. Home plate umpire is Fieldon Culbreth.
Well, Alex Rodriguez back in the lineup playing third base, and a good day for Robinson Cano to take a break against a tough lefty in Brett Cecil.
Alex back in the field, and that one is drilled to left field. Backing up Gardner. Still back. He turns. He's going to play it off the wall. Hill's going for two. The throw from Gardner is not in time. A funky slide got Hill in for the double. Good throw by Brett Gardner.
Brett Gardner does a great job playing this off the wall. It's the first curveball we see from Phil Hughes, and it's kind of a roller over the head of Brett Gardner. Does a great job playing it off the wall, and a good strong throw in the Pena at second base. Hill took one of those slides where he stopped. Pena kind of missed the tag because of that. He stopped, hesitates, and then gets his foot in.
Bautista fouls it back. Well, that was not a good breaking ball by Phil Hughes, and this is not a good slide, but it served him well because it just threw Ramiro Pena off.
Yeah, through the whole timing of the playoff. You can see on the Yesmo Pena trying to apply a tag. The runner is not there in Hill, and then he slide steps and gets his foot in there.
That's a good call by the second base umpire, Gary Cederstrom, the 0-1. 0-2.
I mentioned in the scouting report, mix in your secondary pitches, the curveball, and I think the changeup especially. We've seen Phil have a little bit of trouble getting swings and misses on the fastball. If he throws some more changeups, it might look a little bit better.
And the 0-2. Yankees have held Bautista in check for the most part. You know, he's getting his walks, but they'll give him his walks, John. They want to keep him in the ballpark.
Yeah, he's the guy in this series. You don't want him to beat you. 1 for 6, no home runs, does not have an RBI, and he was killing the Yankees. They have seen enough of him this year. If you have to pitch around him, fine.
1-2. That was about a 55-foot pitch. A nice block by Posada.
Second curveball we've seen. The first one was a roller, and Phil Hughes said, I'm not going to make a mistake with my curveball again, and he spikes it into the dirt. Nice play by Posada, keeping it in front.
The 2-2. High. 3-2. Phil Hughes 10-3 at the stadium. CC Sabathia 11-0. Pretty good combo. You do the math, 21-3 between the two of them here at home. The 3-2. Still 3-2.
Coming right at Bautista with his fastball there. I'm impressed. Thought maybe he'd go with a curveball or a changeup, a full count. First base open and Wells on deck. He doesn't play any games. Phil Hughes comes right at him. Ball missed location inside, which is dangerous, but you like the attitude of Phil Hughes early on.
(3-2) swung on and missed. Got him. 2 away.
First strikeout of the afternoon and a good cutter. Bautista had seen a curveball, fastballs, and now he gets a look at the cutter and a weak swing. Perfect location down and away with movement off the plate.
Here's Vernon Wells. 4 hits in his last 15 at bats. And that got a piece of Cederstrom. And Posada trying to hold him up. Also gets a new baseball. The foul ball is still behind home plate. Picked up by the bat boy.
Well, we've seen Jorge Posada have a lot of meetings with pitchers, and this is to give Culbreth behind the plate a little bit extra time. That foul ball.
Hey, let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. Right now it's cloudy for Build in Culbreth, but weather-wise 74 degrees, 33% humidity. The wind's out of the west-southwest at 13 miles per hour, and the forecast is for sunny skies. Look at that. There is not a cloud in the sky. Looks like a light blue bulletin board. Foul back. Hughes has started off all 4 Blue Jay hitters with strikes, and that's a good sign.
Yeah, one of the things we've seen his last couple outings, though, he'll get ahead in the count 0-2, and good numbers for Vernon Wells against Hughes. But Phil has been having trouble putting some hitters away. We'll see if that trend changes this afternoon. Ahead in the count here, 0-2.
The 0-2. Driven out into center field. Granderson back. Still back. Still back. It's gone. A long home run for Vernon Wells. A 2-run blast. And the Blue Jays take a 2-0 lead.
Those good numbers for Vernon Wells against Phil Hughes continue, but this is a mistake. An 0-2 fastball pretty much right down the middle, and Vernon Wells takes advantage. Posada setting up away, and you can see where it ends up, right down the middle of the plate. Pretty much a line drive out of here for home run number 24. Bad pitch on an 0-2 count. Phil Hughes pays the price.
There's Lyle Overbay, and there's a ground ball up the middle. Hankin backhands. Fires to Teixeira, and that will do it. But Phil Hughes has now allowed 20 home runs this year, 17 of them at the stadium. 2 runs on 2 hits for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays 2, Yankees coming back. To swing the bat, the Yankees starting lineup is presented by Lexus. Brett Gardner leading off. He'll play left field. Batting second, playing shortstop, the captain, Derek Jeter. Mark Teixeira's at first base. He'll hit third. Cleaning up, back in the lineup, third baseman Alex Rodriguez. Marcus Timms in DH bats fifth. Batting sixth and catching, Jorge Posada. Curtis Granderson in center field will bat seventh. The number 8 hitter, right fielder Greg Golson. And Ramiro Pena at second base is going to bat ninth.
That Yankee lineup with Alex Rodriguez in it will face lefty Brett Cecil, who's had a very, very nice year for the Toronto Blue Jays, and we'll take a look at his numbers. 11-7 in ERA, 3.74, only 133 hits and 146 and 2/3 innings. And we'll take a look at our scouting report. The 4th time this year the Yankees have seen him. He is 2-0 in the 3 starts with only 4 earned runs. So a tough lefty, and he's tough against the American League East. 7-2 with an ERA just over 2. In 9 starts against the AL East, and he's got an extra day, which is good news for him in between starts. 5-0 with an ERA over 3, with 8 starts this year on extra days rest.
Well, here is Brett Gardner to lead things off. Gardner settled in nicely in the leadoff spot. He's now had 9 straight games with a walk, at least 1 walk. And that matches the longest such streak in the major leagues this year. The last major league player with walks in at least 10 straight games in one season was Nick Johnson, but a 13-game streak last year went overlap between the Nationals and the Marlins when he was traded mid-season. No Yankee has ever drawn a walk in 10 consecutive games since Posada had a 13-game hitting streak or 13-game walking streak in 2004. Slow roller. Going to be a very tough play. There'll be no play. It's a base hit for Gardner. As a leadoff batter this year in 17 games, Gardner 317, 449 on base percentage.
Well, what a luxury when you can run like Brett Gardner. All you got to do is put the ball in play. Off the end of the bat, Aaron Hill is going to try to do the bare hand. He cannot. Speed makes you try some plays that is going to be tough. It's a do or die play. Aaron Hill can't come up with it.
40 stolen bases for Brett Gardner. And that's going to bring up Derek Jeter. Yesterday, Gardner started the game the same way with an infield single. And this was his 26th infield hit. Jeter shows bunt, takes a strike. Derek's struggles at the plate have been well documented. 3 for 20 on this homestand. Longer stretch, 4 for 38. He's hitting 266. And an RBI double in yesterday's game. Rolled over a ball, but got it just over third base to drive in a run. Picked up a double.
Really like this combination, though, Michael. Brett Gardner leading off on first base on an infield hit. Derek Jeter hitting second. I mean, it kind of plays to his strengths, the ability to hit the ball the other way. Also, Gardner going to really draw a lot of attention. Expect Derek to get some good pitches to hit.
There's a ground ball to second base. There's one. And a backhand scoop by Overbay. There's two. And that's the reason they took Derek out of the number 2 hole last year, because of the double play propensity. And that's his 20th DP he's grounded into this year. Let's take a look at the Blue Jays defense, which is brought to you by Mercedes. In the outfield, Snyder, Wells, and Wise, left to right. Infield, Bautista, McDonald, Hill, and Overbay. That's third to first, and Buck behind the plate with Cecil on the mound. Here's Mark Teixeira. Teixeira 10 hits in his last 19 at-bats, and Alex Rodriguez is on deck. A strike, count 2-1.
You look at Cecil and his stuff. I mean, the fastball pretty much 90 miles an hour, has an outstanding changeup. 2-0 against the Yankees this year in 3 starts. Has only given up 4 earned runs. Yankees have not figured out that changeup this year.
And that's going to bring up Alex Rodriguez. Let's listen to the hand.
Now for the Yankees, third baseman, number 13, Alex Rodriguez.
Warm welcome by the crowd. He has not played since August 21st. He's been on the DL with a strained left calf. There's a strike. Last year, he sat out the first month of the season. The first pitch that he saw against the Orioles, he hit it to the stand. So this time he takes it for a strike from Brett Cecil. Despite missing all this time, he has 97 runs batted in. There's a ground ball and a diving stop by Bautista. They go the short way, they get the force, and that'll do it in the first inning for the Yankees. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. So Alex Rodriguez gets a cut. Seems like he's okay. 2-0 Jays. in the National League is the best. You can text your vote to 58772, and your choices are the race in the East, that's 1, the race in the West, that's 2, or the race for the wild card, that's 3. How about the race in the West, John? I believe the Padres have lost 9 in a row, and their lead has been whittled down to 2 by the Giants.
Doing it all year with pitching and timely hitting. San Diego finally hitting a little skid that a lot of people predicted would happen.
John Buck pops it up, right field. Golson will make the play for the first out. In the East, the Phillies have whittled it down to 1 as the Braves are losing some games. And the Rockies, who just have a propensity to make that late run, Rockies are just 5.5 games off the pace. The Giants 2 back of the Padres. And in the wild card race, the Giants are 3 back of the Phillies, the Cardinals 6.5, Rockies 6.5, and the Marlins 9. Who's Adam Lind? The races in the American League that seem intriguing. The Yankees and the Rays, and then the Twins and the White Sox in the Central. Strike. Right here, it's 2-0 Blue Jays on the 2-run home run by Vernon Wells. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. Foul back.
Keep looking for opportunities for Phil Hughes to drop a couple of change-ups in there. Lind would be a good candidate. Lefty. Decide to go with a curveball backdoor, just misses.
Swing and a miss, got him. Second strikeout for Hughes.
Pretty good life on the fastball. More importantly, better location, just off the corner, maybe up a little bit, and Lind helped him out.
There's a strike to John McDonald. Yunel Escobar, the shortstop of the future for the Blue Jays, missed this entire series. In fact, this entire week with a sore lower back. So we see Mike McCoy at short and John McDonald.
Phil Hughes again doing a nice job jumping ahead in the count. 0-2. We'll see if he can make a better 0-2 pitch this time around to McDonald than he did to Wells. Good fastball early, not really with velocity, but the location is outstanding. Seen Phil his last couple outings, velocity in the mid-90s, but having trouble with location, having trouble with putting hitters away. Today, velocity not as impressive, but the location is definitely better.
Grounded to Alex Rodriguez, his first try across the diamond, and that'll do it. A 1-2-3 inning bounce back inning for Phil Hughes. As the Blue Jays go down in order, we go to the bottom of the second. 2-0 Yankees losing. On September 5th of 1922, Babe Ruth hits his last home run at the Polo Grounds off of Boston's Herb Pennock. And then the next year, the Yankees move into the brand new Yankee Stadium in 1923. And he actually hits the first home run there. And the Yankees beat the Red Sox in that game 4-1. It's 2-0 Blue Jays. And here's Marcus Timms, grounded ball.
Can't say enough about Marcus Timms. Yesterday, the big 2-run home run. Playing today, he's got good numbers against Cecil. 3 for 6 with a home run.
Now, John, I have a question for you, because whenever I'm confused, I come to you, whether it be about baseball or life, because you're a sage in that way.
I'll play along.
24 games Alex Rodriguez has missed. 24. Nice play by McDonald. Scrambles to his feet and fires, and they get Marcus Timms as McDonald takes away a base hit. Timms thought he had a single ticketed to center field. How are the Yankees 21-3 when Alex Rodriguez misses a game? How do you explain that?
Well, we've talked about guys like Marcus Timms who have stepped up. Mark Teixeira has been better. Robinson Cano. And I think there's a tendency when you have a great player like Alex in your lineup, you almost sit back and wait for him to do everything. Not that you're giving it your full attention, but when he's not in the lineup, you know you got to do a little bit more, maybe get a bigger hit in a big spot. And the Yankees have done that. Obviously, you want him in your lineup, but when he's not there, you know you got to step up.
But the way I look at it, John, if they were 15 and, 24 games, so if they were 14-10 in those games, I go, wow, they really played well. They're 21-3. It makes no sense at all. You know, Joe Girardi spoke about how good Nunez and Pena were at third, but still, 21-3. If Alex Rodriguez comes back and is the greatest he's ever been, they're not going to repeat 21-3 in 24 games.
No, but you know, you can even take it a step further. The bullpen has been fantastic in this little stretch that he's been gone. It's just all adding up to a lot of wins for the Yankees, no matter how you slice it. 8 in a row. Now you get Alex back in there. Keep it going.
I knew you'd have the answer.
You didn't agree with my answer.
I agree with it. I mean, I just don't understand why it's 21-3. I mean, what your answer is right. But I actually think it's inexplicable. All the things you said lead to them being able to survive it, but not thrive in it. They thrive during this period. I don't get that. 1-2.
I guess the tough part to explain, Michael, is when you're a teammate of Alex and you watch what he does every day, you know, you're not sitting back saying, okay, we're going to let him do it. I don't want to do my part. But when he's not there, you know you have to do a little bit more. And I guess I'm more impressed at some of the guys who have gotten better since he's been gone. Curtis Granderson, Jorge Posada, now healthy, playing a little bit more and swinging the bat better. You can go up and down the lineup.
2-2. Well, Joe Girardi was asked the same question during his press conference before the game. He said, I don't know. I don't know what. He explained some of the things that you said, but 21-3 said, I don't know. I can't explain. Now, it's interesting, John. Now put some pressure on Alex Rodriguez.
Of course.
Because you don't want to come in and mess everything up. They have an 8-game winning streak. They're 21-3 in the 24 games that you've missed. And all of a sudden, when they start to lose, people point at you being the reason. That's not fair, but maybe that's the way he'll think.
You know, I think, Alex, you really want to, you know, obviously back in the lineup, but get through this game healthy and look forward.
Swing and a miss as Posada down on strikes.
You don't see that from Jorge Posada every day, expanding the strike zone up. He did a good job of laying off a changeup, fouling a tough one off, and then swinging a ball above his belt.
Number 14, Curtis Granderson. Number 14.
Posada in his last 16 games before that at bat, 18 for 54, 4 homers and 11 runs batted in. Granderson fouls it away. Now, we've all told you probably ad nauseum about Kevin Long adjusting Curtis Granderson to approach at the plate. Well, since that adjustment, Granderson's 12 for 29 with 2 homers. That's just against left-handed pitchers. Count 0-2. Pretty good.
Yeah, and it's a good test this afternoon because this lefty Cecil is outstanding. Has good stuff, a good slider, and a changeup. Curtis 1 for 9 in his career.
Grounded sharply to Overbay. He'll take it himself, beats Granderson to the bag. And the Yankees go down 1-2-3. We go to the third, 2-0 Toronto. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Yankees game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Travis Snyder takes a strike from Phil Hughes. Phil Hughes 16-6. And it's amazing, John. We're sitting here and we're picking apart the ERA going up and down, and after April he hasn't been the same in terms of dominance. He's 16-6, and they do pay off on wins in this game. That's pretty good.
Yeah, we heard a lot after Phil's last outing. He threw 5 innings, picked up the win, but it was a tough outing for him, and his teammates really appreciated it. So that's why this kid has won 16 games. He can go out there without his best stuff, find a way to win.
Joe Girardi pointed out the thing that Hughes didn't have in his last start was he didn't have his fastball, which is rare. He didn't have any location on his fastball at all. Usually it's his breaking pitch that sometimes betrays him.
Mentioned in the scouting report, he is 6-0 in the month of September in his career. The Yankees would love to see that continue. Start thinking about postseason rotation and where Phil Hughes might fit in. Obviously, you'd feel better about it if he finishes up strong.
3-2. The Yankees certainly score for him, close to 7 runs a game. Andy Pettitte gets a lot of support, so does Sabathia. So 3 of the top 5 pitchers with high run support, they've won a lot of games. Andy Pettitte's 11-2. Sabathia has 19 wins. Runs help. Foul back.
Love that pitch right there. A 3-2 changeup. Snyder has seen a couple of changeups this at bat. Tells me Phil Hughes has some confidence in the ability to throw it on a 3-2 count, but more importantly, throw it for a strike. Be a valuable weapon down the stretch.
Swing and a miss. One with the fastball there. Strikes out Snyder.
You know, my God, he's going to get some swings and misses on the fastball if he just shows that changeup. Snyder sees a changeup 3-2, and then Phil Hughes comes back with a fastball. Pretty much right down the middle, and he swings through it.
Dwayne Wise rockets one to right field for a base hit. Bobbled out there by Golson, but he recovers and gets the ball in. So 1-out single for Wise. Aaron Hill doubled off the left field wall in the first inning. Came around to score on Vernon Wells' 2-run home run.
Wise runs well. He's stolen 4 bases on the year. He's not been thrown out.
He started then stopped. There's a strike. Dwayne Wise will always be in baseball lore, saving Mark Burley's perfect game with a tremendous catch when he was a member of the White Sox playing center field. Those are the type of catches that live on forever when they lead to perfect games. And in Chicago, it's simply called the catch. Home runs, second most by a second baseman in the American League. Robinson Cano is first, and Cano simply has a day off today. Here's that catch by Dwayne Wise off the bat of Gabe Kapler. Pretty special. Foul boy.
Another good fastball and another good job by Phil Hughes getting ahead in the count. 0-2 again. An early storyline for Phil Hughes.
The 0-2. Driven deep to left field. Gardner back. He's on the track. He's at the wall. See ya. 2-run home run for Aaron Hill. And the Blue Jays lead 4-0.
Well, you don't know how this game is going to play out only in the 3rd inning here, but Phil Hughes has made a couple of mistakes on 0-2 counts that have cost him 4 runs. Got ahead of Vernon Wells 0-2 and then made a mistake with the fastball here. Aaron Hill 0-2. Another mistake with the fastball up middle of the plate. 4-0 Blue Jays.
I don't want to make a mistake to Jose Bautista. Starts him off with a breaking ball strike. Strike on the inside corner.
See Phil Hughes again right when that pitch was made and the swing. Not happy with himself.
$18 home runs here at the stadium. I mean, the splits there they're so stark. Just 3 on the road. There is a different way to pitch here at Yankee Stadium, and that's why Sabathia has been so successful. He knows how to pitch to certain parts of the ballpark and certain counts as well. Phil Hughes still a work in progress, still a young pitcher. The 1-2. 2-2.
Good pitch off the plate there to move Bautista, move his feet a little bit. Talked at the beginning of this series, the Yankees probably would stay away from fastballs inside, go with some breaking balls off the plate away.
And the 3-2. Hammer. Bautista gives all of the credit to his home run surge to his hitting coach, Dwayne Murphy, who, middle of last year, got him in a cage and said, listen, you've got to own the inside corner. You've got to kill that pitch. He said, that's how people get you out. And now he never misses that pitch. That one is chopped toward first. Teixeira right there. 2 outs.
What he's also done, too, he's kind of gotten his mechanics and his timing down a little bit earlier. It gives him more time to recognize pitches and also, like you said, take care of that fastball in the inner half.
And with the 43 home runs, and he's never hit more than 17 in a season. 16, I think, is his high watermark. Then come the rumors of, he probably did performance-enhancing drugs. And Bautista said, sometimes it's just coaching. He said, maybe if I had a coach like Dwayne Murphy earlier in my career, I would have been doing this then. But he's 29 years old, and maybe he's a late bloomer. It happened with Carlos Pena. First baseman for the Rays. Released by so many teams, but found a home there.
And sometimes, and players will tell you, they just had one of those years where it all happened. I didn't miss mistakes. I felt good from the beginning of spring training. And a hitting instructor can make a big difference. Obviously, Curtis Granderson, Nick Swisher giving a lot of credit to Kevin Long. And that was in September of last year, 10 home runs in that month. And then he took it to winter ball and continued, had a great winter ball, and obviously a great year this year.
Count 2-2. And the 53 home runs since last September. Most in baseball, more than even Albert Pujols of the Cardinals. So 53 pretty much in a baseball season. 6 months. The 2-2. Inside, count 3-2. Wells, first time up, hit a 2-run home run in the first. So 2 mistakes on 0-2 pitches, and Hughes is paid as he and the Yankees are down 4-0. Here's the payoff. Chop foul. Wells one behind Carlos Delgado for the most home runs for a Blue Jay player against the Yankees. And the 3-2. Popped up. And that's going to be out of play. Still 3-2. Lyle Overbay's on deck. And the pitch. Grounded toward third. Rodriguez backs up and fires a strike to first, and that'll do it. In the second, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left. The big hit, Aaron Hill on an 0-2 pitch deposits it into the left field seats, much to the dismay of Hughes and the Yankees, who are down 4-0. enjoy the journey. The Orioles come to town, another day game, 1:05 on Labor Day, 7:05 on Tuesday, and 1:05 on Wednesday. Then Thursday is a travel day for the Yankees. They head to Texas for 3, then Tampa Bay, St. Pete for 3, another travel day on Thursday, and then 3 against the Orioles in Baltimore. So a 9-game, 11-day road trip. They're not taking the train. Here's Greg Golson. Now, the Yankees yesterday made up a deficit of 3-0. It's their 7th win after a deficit of 3 or more runs. Last year, they had 9 of those wins. And they'll have that number 8 today to get a victory. Golson, a late addition into the lineup. Nick Swisher took BP, see if he could go. He cannot. His left knee still barking. That one is driven to left field. That's going to be trouble. It is off the wall. Played out there by Snyder. Golson's going for 2. He is in there with a double. And that's Golson's 3rd career big league hit.
Little late addition to the lineup. Does a nice job, Golson, here getting to the fastball in the inner half, and he hammers this down the left field line. Thought it had a chance to get out of here high off of the wall. Golson, who runs well. A good throw by Snyder. Beats it.
Take a look at this play with the Coors Light freeze can. And freeze it. Oh, he's clearly safe. So a double for Golson as the Yankees try to mount a comeback against Brett Cecil. And that's Golson's 1st career extra base hit. Almost had a home run.
Surprised Austin Kearns was not inserted into the lineup. Golson pays dividends early on.
Now, Kearns yesterday said he hurt his thumb taking BP. So that was probably in Girardi's head. Team's been playing well. Wide push Kearns and let that thumb heal completely. But just taking BP, extra BP, sometimes that can be not as advantageous as you think. Bunted. Nice one. It is a base hit.
Ramiro Pena going through one of those stretches every time he gets an opportunity to play. Either gets a big hit, does a nice job of small ball right here. Perfect bunt. Bautista comes in, the bare hand. Good throw. Pena too fast. Perfectly placed, perfectly executed. 1st and 3rd. Nobody out.
Here's Gardner. Pitch outside. That's Pena's 2nd bunt hit of the year. So the bottom of the Yankee order starts this comeback as they're down 4-0, bottom of the 3rd. That one is skied to left field. Golson tags. Snyder makes the catch. Golson scores. The throw comes into second. Sac fly for Gardner. Yankees are on the board. It's 4-1 Blue Jays.
Nice job by Brett Gardner trying to chip away at this lead. The Yankees get on the board. Good piece of hitting by Golson to start the inning. Nice job of situational hitting. Brett Gardner getting the ball up in the air. A little sac fly and an RBI.
So here's Derek Jeter wrapped into a 4-6-3 double play in the 1st inning. They have a great stat on the board in center field. And you can look at batting average and home runs and things like that. The only thing that matters really is wins. And Derek owns the highest personal winning percentage among active major league players. So no player in the big leagues has played in more winning games than Derek Jeter. Now, if you want to contest that, you could say, well, he's on the Yankees. And then when you want to return serve on that, you could say, well, maybe the Yankees win as much as they do because of Derek Jeter. So what comes first, the chicken or the egg?
Well, obviously, Derek having a down year and going through a tough time at this point in the season. It's all about the wins and losses. So Anthony McCarron had a nice article today, the Daily News, and Derek said, listen, we're having a good year. That's all I'm concerned about. Wins and losses. But you know that the batting average has got to be bothering him a little bit.
Check swing and a pitch upstairs. 2-1. Cecil deals. Right in on the thumbs. And a pop up to center field. Vernon Wells makes the play for the second inning. So Derek 0 for 2 today.
Saw a changeup the pitch before and then a fastball in. He gets jammed. Kind of what he's going through right now with these at bats. He's ahead on the off speed pitches a little bit early and late on the fastball.
How about that, John? That was a rare show of near frustration. You never see Derek slam down the bat, and he almost did. And it's almost like that shot of DiMaggio where he kicks the dirt rounding second base after a great play in the outfield. I believe it was the Sandy Amorós play by the Dodgers. And they hold that up as the only time DiMaggio ever showed frustration on the field. But Derek held the bat. Pitch is high. Bottom of the first inning, the Orioles lead Tampa Bay 1-0. We'll watch that one for you. The White Sox and the Red Sox, no score, top of the second. Count 2-0. The pitch. Foul back.
That's what makes Cecil so tough right there. A 2-0 count. You think you're going to get a fastball, and he drops a good changeup. Mark Teixeira out in front, fouls it right off the end of his bat. I've seen a couple of his starts this year against the Yankees, and he's done a nice job of kind of holding that changeup for when he needs it. First start he threw against the Yankees, he had a good one. He threw it early in the game. Since then, he's kind of kept it in his back pocket.
Now count 3-1 up to Teixeira with Alex Rodriguez on deck. Pena leads off first. Nubbed up the first baseline, but it kicks foul. So now Pena will be going on the full count with 2 outs.
Sure, a little confusion with Mark Teixeira right now and what he's going to see in a full count pitch. 2-0, Cecil threw the changeup. 3-1, he threw the changeup. Just that thought in your head, will he throw that changeup again, might be enough to get that fastball in on his hands. We'll see what happens.
And he walked him. First and second, 2 out for A-Rod. When he came back from injury May 8th of last year after the hip surgery, this is what happened on the first pitch from Guthrie. A home run into the seats at Camden Yards. A fairy tale-like comeback for A-Rod. But the first at bat today was a ground out to third.
Hard ground ball, too, from Alex Rodriguez. Been taking plenty of batting practice lately. Not the same thing as facing a major league pitcher.
That one is nubbed slowly at the first baseline. And Cecil tags out A-Rod, and that will do it. So the Yankees get one run back on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We played 3. It's 4-1 Blue Jays. Quit line quiz. Sabathia and Hughes are currently first and tied for second American League in wins. When was the last time a pair of Yankees teammates finished the season first and second in wins? We'll find that out in the bottom of the 4th as Overbay fouls off the first pitch of the 4th. A friend of mine just emailed me, John, and said that the time that DiMaggio kicked the dirt in frustration was in 1947. Al Gianfrido made the great play. So I stand corrected. Let's see if Posada's okay.
Foul ball off of that left hand, the glove hand. Posada in some pain. And for some reason, and I've talked to Jorge about this, he seems to get more of these foul balls off his glove hand than any other catcher in the league.
Is there anything that you could do to stop that?
No, and you know, we tried to figure out why. I don't know if it's kind of where he's setting up his target. We both could not figure it out. It's one of those things he has to deal with.
Ground ball to first to Shera. He'll take it himself. One away. Boy, our producer, Bill Bowler, must be in a very good mood. He wants me to give clues about the Quit Line quiz, which I don't think I agree with.
It's a holiday weekend. He's in good spirits, beautiful weather.
He's giving the decade. He said that it happened in the 60s. I mean, that's ridiculous. It means you're giving half a decade, because it certainly didn't happen from 65 to 69 when the Yankees struggled. That was really too much of a clue. Very down on it. Pitch to John Buck is a strike. John Buck with a fly ball to right. That was in the second. And a strike.
Again, ahead in the count, 0-2. First pitch strikes to 14 of the 15 batters he has faced this afternoon.
Count 1-2. Swing and a miss. It's a weird game, John, because usually it's like he has good stuff, but he's made those 2 mistakes and he's down 4-1.
Yeah, he's going to be kicking himself, I'm sure, after the ball game. Because you're right, the location has been excellent. Ahead in the count all afternoon. You feel like he should be dominating this lineup. 2 bad pitches on a couple of 0-2 counts have cost him 4 runs.
Here's Adam Lind. And a strike. Look at that ratio, outstanding, huh?
Fantastic. I mean, he hasn't walked anybody this afternoon. He walked 5 in his last 2 outings each game. 10 walks the last 2 games.
Lofted to left field. Gardner near the line makes the play in a 1-2-3 inning for Phil Hughes. He's retired 5 in a row since the 2-run home run by Hill. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 4-1 Toronto. To the New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. Sabathia and Hughes are currently first and tied for second in the American League in wins. When was the last time a pair of Yankee teammates finished the season first and second in wins? I'd say Whitey Ford was one of them. Let's see who the second one is. Jim Bowden. How about that? 1963. 24-21. Tied with Camilo Pascual of the Twins. Here is Marcus Timms. And the 1-0. 2-0. Don't expect that pitch on 2-0.
Kind of a little bit of a pattern we've seen lately. Last inning to Mark Teixeira, a lot of change-ups and fastball counts. Same thing to Derek Jeter, and then on this count came with a fastball in. We'll see what happens. These are little patterns if you're sitting in the dugout for the Yankees you start paying attention to. Kevin Long, the hitting instructor, I'm sure paying attention. Some change-ups and fastball counts, and then tries to sneak the fastball.
Played a big part, Cecil has, in the East. 2-0 against the Yankees, 3-1 against the Rays, and now 3-2 to Marcus Timms.
It's got to be a nice reputation to have as a young left-hander, unintimidated by the American League East.
Hot shot, base hit.
Marcus continues that hot hitting, and he gets a changeup, but it's up. A little get-me-over changeup, takes advantage and drills it into left field.
Number 20, Jorge Posada.
Here's Jorge Posada. Posada struck out in the second. Pitch outside. Grounded to short. There's one. And there's two. A 6-4-3 double play. So 2 down here in the fourth.
We saw Jorge expand up in the zone his first at bat, and he goes down this at bat.
And this is the GE Capital partner play. Great partnerships are built on trust. At GE Capital, we prove that every day.
Taylor made double play ball. McDonald to Hill over to Overbay. Much a routine double play ball with Jorge Posada running.
Granderson takes a strike. Grounded to second. And that'll do it. Yankees, no runs a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. We go to the fifth. 4-1 Blue Jays. And on the postgame with Kimberly Jones right now, top of the fifth inning, 4-1 Blue Jays. And John McDonald will lead off. And the first pitch misses outside, 1-0. How about this stat? I was shocked that Elias dug this up. The last 2 games, John, Joe Girardi lifted Ivan Nova 1 out from a win. And yesterday, Javier Vazquez from a win. This is amazing. It was the first time that any major league manager removed his starting pitchers with 2 outs in the 5th inning and his team holding the lead in each of 2 consecutive games since Lou Piniella did it as a Yankee manager in 1986. He took out Tommy John and Doug Drabeck. That's the last time a manager had ever done it. Doesn't that seem a little startling that it had never been done in now, I guess, 24 years?
It's incredible. Just tells you where Joe Girardi's mind is right now. It doesn't matter if you're a veteran like Javi Vazquez or a young kid like Nova. He didn't like what he saw from either of his starters. It didn't matter if there was 1 out left in the 5th inning. He was going to make a change.
The 3-2. McDonald grounded to second. That was in the 3rd. Blue Jays 4 runs on 4 hits. The 2 big hits, home runs, 2-run home runs. And the Yankees 1 run on 4 hits. 3-2. And McDonald walks. Now, Joe Girardi was asked about Nova being upset and Vazquez being upset. Here's what the Yankee manager said.
Players are going to be upset with me from time to time at things I do. But that's my job. My job is to make decisions and to do what I think is best. Is every decision that I'm going to make going to work out the way I drew it up? No, it's not. But there's a rhyme and a reason why we do things, and sometimes you're right, and sometimes they don't work out.
They worked out each of those 2 days because the bullpen did a great job, so you can feel comfortable taking starters out when you know your bullpen has been the best bullpen in baseball for about 2 months. Here's Travis Snider. There's a strike, and I think you also like the fact, why would you want a player who would be upset being taken out?
No, of course. But, you know, I was a little surprised Javi Vazquez after the game yesterday wasn't real happy with being taken out of the game. And you know, I think if Javi looked back at his performance, he did not have great stuff. But he's such a competitor when he gets in the ball game that he wanted to finish off that 5th inning, and I'm sure continue.
That one is driven into the right field corner. It's trouble. It's up against the wall. Played out there by Golson. Stopping at 3rd is McDonald, and Snider is at 2nd with a double. Well, the Blue Jays have a little bit of a rally going, and so does somebody else. So let's check it out with Nancy Newman back in the studio. Nancy? Thank you, Nancy, and Nancy will be updating us on that game throughout. So Buck Showalter trying to take 2 out of 3 against the Tampa Bay Rays, and then he wants to come in here and do the same thing against the Yankees. And Joe Girardi said he's made a difference. When we were talking to him before the game, he's made a difference with that club. We expect a different Oriole club to come in here. Here's Dwayne Wise. They're in at the corners and back at 2nd and short. 1-0.
Got to imagine Buck Showalter looking forward to coming in here to Yankee Stadium. A young team playing better baseball.
And this is the upcoming series and how the starters will play out. Brian Mattis, who's really turned his season around, against A.J. Burnett tomorrow afternoon. So the first pitch will be 108. Jake Arrieta against C.C. Sabathia. And then Brad Bergeson against Ivan Nova. Now our coverage starts at noon tomorrow with the batting practice show. The 1-1 fouled away, and that series is a day-night day 3-game set. So a day game on Monday, night game on Tuesday, day game on Wednesday, which means the Yankees would have played 6 out of 7 games at 105. And everybody I've spoken to on the team, John, they said it's great because it's all those games in a row. He said if it was day game after night game, day game after night game, that becomes a problem. But all those day games in a row, they have no problem with.
Yeah, you enjoy it once you get on the routine of getting up a little bit earlier.
Swing and a miss, and Wise down on strikes. That's a big strikeout for Hughes.
Probably the best curveball Phil Hughes has thrown this afternoon. Perfectly located backdoor. Posada setting up away. Drops it right down to the outside corner. You're right, Michael. Big strikeout. Now you can bring the infield in. It's Aaron Hill, who's already 2 for 2 with a double and a 2-run home run.
Now you can see the difference of what you're already seeing. The last 2 days in this situation, he had somebody up. But he knows that Phil Hughes is in a jam here, but he's throwing the ball well.
Phil, this is probably the best I've seen Phil Hughes in maybe 3 or 4 starts. Nobody getting loose in the Yankee bullpen. You know, his fastball location has been outstanding. He's probably thrown 4 or 5 changeups, and they've all been good. You saw the curveball to Dwayne Wise. Cutter has been nice. If you're Joe Girardi, Dave Island, you got to look past the numbers. 2 bad pitches this afternoon have cost him 4 runs. One of those mistakes to Aaron Hill. And here we are again, another 0-2 count. Maybe throw a curveball down and bounce it. Trust that Posada will block it.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
Interesting. Derek Jeter part of that conversation. You don't normally see that when Jorge Posada goes out there. Derek doesn't say a whole lot about pitch selection. There are sometimes he'll give you his opinion.
Breaking ball outside. The dangerous Bautista waits on deck. Foul back.
You work so hard if you're Phil Hughes to get ahead in the count. You really got to bear down and finish this at bat off. Another fastball to Hill on the inner half that probably wasn't as far in off the plate as Phil Hughes and Jorge Posada wanted. Pretty good swing by Hill.
The 1-2 popped up. Tagging is McDonald. Golson makes the catch. Here's the throw, and here's the play. He's in there. Posada never got a tag on him. As Snyder moves to third, sac fly for Hill, and it's now 5-1 Blue Jays. Let's see how they pitch to Hill. And the pitch by pitch brought to you by Suzuki Kizashi.
Again, Phil Hughes does a nice job getting ahead in the count. First pitch fastball, second one perfect on the inner half. A curveball misses down and away. Fastball middle, got away with a mistake. Then he reaches out, hits a sacrifice fly to right field. Good throw by Golson. That might have surprised Jorge Posada a little bit. He gets it out in front of the plate and doesn't come back and apply a tag.
Runner at third, now 2 outs. Pitch to Bautista's inside. Line drive to left field. Gardner makes the play. And that'll do it here in the 5th. But 1 run on 1 hit. No errors and 1 man left. Golson unleashes a good throw. But McDonald slides in before Posada can even make the tag. We're halfway through. powered by Heineken Light. See the light, and by Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the New York Yankees. Greg Golson will lead off against Brett Cecil. 5-1 Toronto. First pitch outside, 1-0.
He's looking for a little production at the bottom of the lineup. Golson and Pena already 2 for 2.
2-1. 2-2.
Looks like Cecil's going to stay away from that fastball in, and that's what Golson took care of his first at bat. Drilling that double to left field.
Swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch, and Golson down on strikes.
You get the fastball in, you got a chance. This changeup nasty, down and away. I mentioned the 4th time that Brett Cecil is facing the Yankees this year, and he's been impressive every time. Nice, easy delivery, throws a lot of strikes.
There's a strike right there. He's 11-7 coming in, and he's lowered his ERA now to 3.70 from a 3.74 starting this game. 0-2.
Watch him work. If you're a right-handed batter, I mean, you might face some fastballs inside. You got to worry about the changeup away. It's a lot to think about.
Grounded to first. Short hop backhand by Overbay, 2 away. Tonight, college gridiron action returns to Yes with another season of Notre Dame football. The Fighting Irish kick off their 2010 campaign at home against Purdue. And Yes will have a replay of yesterday's Notre Dame victory over Purdue from South Bend. Purdue versus Notre Dame tonight at 6. It's right here on Yes.
Have you ever been to Notre Dame?
Yes, I have.
have.
It's a great place.
So, you know, that's on the list. When I retired from playing, I said, I got to get out to South Bend, and it just hasn't happened yet.
It's beautiful. It's really something else. Want to go together?
I'll find another group, maybe. But I heard the whole, like, pep rally the night before. Did you do all that, or you just saw a game?
No, ask another group how it is, okay?
I've already. Believe me, my buddies have had a nice time out there.
It's outside 2-0. And the count 2-1. Actually went there for a basketball game, before the Notre Dame basketball game, and toured the football field. I think there was no game. Very special. Special university.
So I guess you answered my question. I said, have you ever been to Notre Dame? And yes, you have.
Yes,
but I
have.
heard the football experience is incredible.
That's why you and I should go together. We have a good time together. But you seem somewhat reluctant to do that, so I'll find another group of people to go. 2-2. Maybe I'll go with O'Neill. We'll get free food there.
You definitely will. See, the problem with me is my kids play football and my daughter cheerleads during the football season, so it's tough to get away. I don't want to hold you down. You know, you'll be able to go there. Got a nice crew together.
3-2. And Gardner with a walk, so he has now walked in 10 straight games. So 1 on, 2 outs, and here is Jeter. Jeter is 0 for 2 today, grounded to second, starting a 4-6-3 double play in the first, and then he flied out to center in the third. Fouled away. Next up, Posada's 13th straight in 2004. That one gets away from Buck, and that allows Gardner to go to 7.
Gets away from John Buck, and it looked like a changeup. One of those tough ones where it's kind of in between. Do you go down and block it, or do you try to pick it? John Buck tried to pick it off the heel of his glove, gets by him. Unusual to see that happen with John Buck behind the plate. Solid defensively.
The 2-1. 3-1.
Good count right here for Derek Jeter. 3-1. 2 outs, a runner in scoring position, and Brett Gardner with a 4-run lead. You would expect Cecil to go right at Derek Jeter with Mark Teixeira on deck.
And he walks Jeter. Obviously not trying to, but that's not smart baseball. A guy's slumping, and then you're going to take on Mark Teixeira.
Maybe just a little bit too fine, and it even looks like John Buck having a little conversation with home plate umpire Fielding Culbreth. Maybe thought that was a borderline strike, but now you're right, Michael. You got Mark Teixeira, a chance to get the Yankees right back in this ballgame with one swing of the bat.
How about this for a stat, John? That was only the 26th time that Jeter had a 3-1 count all year. He's always cutting and slicing.
Yeah, he's not afraid to go up there swinging the bat, and obviously it has worked for him in his career. Maybe during this tough time, maybe expanding the strike zone a little bit, but you don't. If you're Kevin Long, do you ask him to change the approach?
No way.
No, you go up there and do what you have done your entire career. Just have better pitches to hit. Tighten up the strike zone a little bit.
Mark Teixeira looking for RBI number 100. Gardner's at 2nd. Hot shot to short. Backhanded by McDonald. He fires to 2nd to get the force, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We go to the 6th. It's 5-1 Toronto. baseball. Once again, the question, which race in the National League is the best? You've been texting us at 58772, and here's how you voted. 52% say it's the East, then the West, then the wild card. Vernon Wells swings at the first pitch and pops it up. Pena is called off by Golson, 1 away. So 1 pitch, 1 out. Let's take a look at the National League division races. The Phillies have had 5 straight wins, and they're 1 game back of Atlanta. Atlanta and Florida are 6-6 in the bottom of the 6th right now. 5-14, the Cardinals are the last 19 games. You can't believe it after they went in and beat up on the Reds, literally and figuratively, and then 9 straight losses by the Padres. Strange. There's Lyle Overbay. Have you seen how Roy Oswalt has pitched for the Phillies?
I was just going to say the Phillies a dangerous team, getting healthy, and Roy Oswalt. It's been a nice addition.
High pop up. Granderson will put it away for the 2nd out.
And it's only natural, Michael, to start thinking about pitching rotations and who you would want to stay away from if you're the New York Yankees. And obviously, if you face the Phillies, it means that you're playing in the World Series. But Holiday, Oswalt, Hamels,
not too bad.
No.
Yankees will take their chance with the Phillies again. And as you said, you meet the Phillies, that means you're in the World Series again. Here's John Buck, 0 for 2. Driven out to deep center field. Granderson back, still back, looking. See ya! A home run into Monument Park by John Buck. A solo shot, and the Blue Jays lead 6-1.
John Buck likes to swing early in the count at a lot of first pitch fastballs. Phil Hughes has done a nice job dropping some curveballs in their first pitch earlier in the game. But not this time. John Buck, it looked like maybe he got a fastball or a cut fastball. A little cutter looked like it spun in the middle of the plate. John Buck took advantage.
Here's Adam Lynn. Count 1-0.
Good extension. A long way to dead center field here at Yankee Stadium. This is how the Blue Jays beat you. A lot of power all the way through their lineup.
That one is drilled to right field. Does it have the height? No, it one hops into the seats for a double for Adam Lynn.
Well, Adam Lynn is having a down year from what he did last season. Gets jammed here. Is able to keep it fair. If he was a little bit too quick, he would have hooked it foul, but he gets jammed. It stays fair, and that's just an outstanding grab by the fan.
Now Posada will go out and talk with Hughes. Sometimes, and correct me if I'm wrong here, John, the scoreboard betrays you. Because I look, if somebody tunes in right now, 6-1, they go, oh, Hughes is terrible. But Hughes, I think, has been really good today.
He's been fantastic. 3 pitches have cost him 5 runs. See Jonathan Albaladejo getting ready. But, yesterday when we watched Javi Vasquez pitch, if he would have given up 6 runs, you'd say, well, I could see that happening. Surprised with Phil Hughes today with how good he has been. 3 bad pitches have cost him 5 runs.
Pitch is outside to McDonald, 1-0.
So that's going to be the job of Dave Island, the pitching coach, right? When you watch this film and you talk to Phil Hughes about his outing, say, hey, everything was a lot better.
Breaking ball strike.
Good curveball there. Mentioned earlier, some good changeups today.
foul back. Now, he allowed 3 home runs so far today. He allowed 3 total in 6 August starts. But then you watch him pitch in August, and you know, he was walking a lot of guys the last 2 starts. Walked 10 in his last 2 starts combined. It's hard to say he pitched great because he gave up three home runs, and the home runs have been a bugaboo for him. But just watching the life on his pitches, the location. Now, he made 3 location mistakes on fastballs. Two. High fly ball left field. Gardner shades his eyes from the sun and puts it away for the final out of the inning. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 6-1 Toronto. Seats for the 2010 postseason by reserving your 2011 season tickets. Come to the Gate 4 suite entrance at Yankee Stadium between 7:30 a.m. and 3 p.m. on Tuesday, September 7th for an exciting preview event. And select your 2011 season tickets in person. For more information, call 212-YANKEES or visit Yankees.com. Pitch to Alex Rodriguez as a strike. Yankees in a 6-1 hole. Alex is 0 for 2, coming off the DL today. Grounded slowly toward third. It stays fair. Bautista, not in time. It's funny how you start to bust it when you smell a base hit. And Alex ran a little bit harder than I'm sure he wanted to, and it picks up an infield single.
All 3 at-bats have been paying attention to how Alex Rodriguez is getting out of the box. I think that was the main concern with his calf. That ball stays fair. Alex Rodriguez beats it out for an infield hit. Getting out of the box, kind of a little hesitation, but then he seems to be striding it out, running all right once he gets going. But that initial burst out of the box is, I think, what has concerned Alex Rodriguez and the Yankees. Looks pretty good today.
There's Marcus Timms inside.
Imagine Joe Girardi watching that little infield hit was probably cringing in the dugout. It's the last thing you want to see, a guy coming off the disabled list trying to bust it on an infield hit, but he looked like he came out of it all right.
Oh, what a play by Bautista. Fires to second, they get the force. That's all they get. Bautista, that was almost an excuse me scoop, but he made it beautifully to get one out.
It looked like Marcus Timms had a lot of top spin on this ground ball, and Bautista does a nice job going to his right. Check out the swing right over the top. Gets a lot of top spin. Take a big hop here and a nice backhand. It's up to his feet. Makes a strong throw to Aaron Hill.
So Alex had to test the leg twice. Running to first and then running to second and sliding. Here's Jorge Posada 0 for 2. And strike. Posada struck out, then a 6-4-3 double play. With his 0 for 2 today, Posada's on-base percentage is currently .369. And it's been higher than .360 in 10 of his last 11 seasons. Fits right into the Yankee lineup. 1-2.
What the Yankees have to do this afternoon is get Cecil out of this ball game. You see 81 pitches, 1 out in the 6th inning. Pretty much averages right around 100 pitches a ball game. The Yankees have not had much success with Cecil all year to get into that bullpen.
That one gets away from Buck. And Timms moves to second. That'll remove the double play.
Like a little cutter down and in. Buck just does not get down to block it. Kind of comes up out of his stance. Get a good look at Yesmo. The ball stays down off his shin guard. It's going to be scored a wild pitch. I'm sure a play that John Buck feels he should have made.
Brett Cecil has induced 12 ground balls, 2 fly balls, and 2 strikeouts. Grounded foul. Boston leads the White Sox 2-1 now, top of the 4th inning, and Baltimore leads Tampa Bay 4-1 in the top of the 4th inning. Yankees down 6-1, bottom of the 6th. The sun seems to have hidden behind a cloud, as most of the field bathed in shade. Now that cloud is moving on. See the sun starting to take effect again. That's tough on outfielders. 3-2. Driven into right center field. Giving chase as well as he can't get there, and it gets past him, and it goes to the wall. Timms will score. Posada will be at second with an RBI double, and the Blue Jays now lead 6-2.
Well, nice at bat by Jorge Posada here, getting deep into the count, working it all the way to 3-2, and he gets a look like maybe a changeup up. He fights it off the other way. Wells trying to cut the angle off to make a play. He's not going to be able to do it. Jorge Posada will get into second base easily. Nice approach, staying on that changeup, driving it the other way.
Here's Granderson against Cecil. And the count 1-0. Jorge is now 6 for his last 14 with 4 extra base hits. And that was his 52nd run batted in. There's a strike. Count 2-1. Nobody up for Toronto. They feel comfortable with Cecil. He's thrown 88 pitches. Giving up a run in the 3rd and 1 here in the 6th. driven to right field, deep, going back Wise, and he makes the play as he bangs into the wall. And Posada advances to third. Granderson hit that ball hard.
Yeah, another good at bat for Curtis Granderson against a left-hander. This looks like a different hitter. A nice play by Wise. I thought this had a chance to get over his head, retreating back into the wall. Jorge Posada tagging up at second, advancing to third.
Here's Greg Golson, who is 1 for 2. Count 1-0.
That double, a fastball inside. Next at bat, everything was away from Golson. We'll see if he maybe takes what Cecil is going to give him and try to drive a ball the other way.
Line drive. Foul. Dan brought a glove and it paid off. One and two. John Buck behind the plate reminds me of you, John, with the mirrored sunglasses. Used to wear those in the last years with the Yankees. You know, that kind of a hockey helmet, very locked in, very serious, you know, all business.
I never had my name on my chest protector and the number, though. It's a reserve for the big boys.
Swing and a miss, and Golson down on strikes, and that will do it. The Yankees get a run back on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. Jorge Posada's double drove home Marcus Timms, and we go to the 7th inning with the Yankees down 6-2 on yes. The Yankees position heading into the playoff stretch on an all-new WB Mason Presents the Joe Girardi Show. And after that, stick around for the Emmy-winning Yankees on Deck presented by Tops Attacks. It all starts today after the postgame only on Yes. Some camp activity here, it would seem, or they all decide to dress alike. As Joe Girardi makes a call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T, Rethink Possible. New pitcher for the Yankees is Sergio Mitre. Now, John, I think that we should better state, because I think we might have overstated Phil Hughes. Phil Hughes, I think, is was better today with his stuff than he had been in his last 2-3 starts. But it's hard to say that somebody had a really good day when they're down 6-1 when they left the game. We're now 6-2 on the Verizon Wireless scoreboard. They gave up 3 home runs. But we saw better things out of him.
A lot better things. Location was 100 times better than it's been his last couple outings. You know, you can talk about 3 pitches costing him 5 runs. Obviously, he made some bad pitches that cost him.
That one is rocketed into right field off the bat of Snyder. Golson gets the ball in quickly, leadoff single.
But there were enough things this afternoon that have you encouraged on his month of September coming up.
Yeah, if he continues to build on that, his next start will be in Texas. You know, you feel good about the way he pitched today. You felt good about the way Mitre pitched in his last appearance on August 27th. That was in Chicago. 4 2/3, 1 hit, no runs, and 1 walk.
Yeah, you wonder how that long layoff will affect him. Obviously, a long reliever down in the Yankee bullpen doesn't get as many opportunities. We'll see how his sinker reacts this afternoon.
Reacted pretty good there. And there's a strike to Dwayne Wise. Now, a couple of weeks ago, the Yankees did their second annual Hope Week, and it moved a lot of people, and there were stirring and compelling stories about people that have overcome the odds, and the Yankees honored them for 5 straight days for the 2nd straight year. There's a line drive to right field. It's a base hit in front of Golson. We'll tell you more about the Hope Week situation in just a second, but first we want to get an update from our studio and Nancy Newman. Nancy? Thanks, Nancy. And the Braves could feel the breath of the Phillies on them, so they need to win games. Now, one of the young men that was honored during Hope Week was Muhammad Kumara. Overcome so much and sends money back to his family, wants to go to college. And during that time, and the Yankees obviously had stories written about them, and we had stories on the Yes Network, that Muhammad was going to go to Johnson & Wales College, and he had scraped together enough money to go for the first year. And the director of financial aid saw the story on the Yes Network, and they convened the whole college together and a lot of the decision makers, and they put Muhammad on a work study program and also gave him a position as an RA, a resident advisor. So that means he's going to get room and board for nothing. And this pretty much ensures that he's going to go to college for the 4 years at Johnson & Wales in Rhode Island. So that's a great, great story right there, an offshoot of what they did on Hope Week. And there's one more, the 0-1. A lot of people remember the Arias sisters, and Melita Arias was going to go to Baruch, and she was going to start in the spring. It would have been very difficult for her to go in the fall with the money issues and all that. And Baruch became aware of the story, and they decided, listen, we want you here in the fall. We'll take care of it. We don't want you to start in the spring, be a half semester behind. So 2 nice parts and continuations of all the Hope Week stories that we gave you earlier. That one's grounded foul. It's great. It's great when people have their stories told, John, and then people are listening. People are out there watching and reading and taking notice, and then they can advance the stories just a bit.
You know, I was just thinking about the Yankees and the the public relations department, Jason Zillow and all the great people that work for the Yankees. These stories that keep coming, it just has to make them feel like all that work that week, it's a great week, and now you hear these stories that continue all the way through.
And on September 20th, we're really proud to announce here on the Yes Network that Yes is going to have a special highlighting the stories of Hope Week and advancing them as well. So again, that's September 20th, and you'll see the other stories and the 2 that we just mentioned. So that's September 20th on Yes. So they count 2-2 on Aaron Hill. Yankees have runners on first and second, nobody out. And the Blue Jays are leading 6-2, trying to salvage the final game of this 3-game set. Yankees won on Friday night, or Friday afternoon, and Saturday afternoon. Blue Jays trying to get out of here with a win. Mitre deals a 2-2. Foul back. Now, we mentioned the Orioles are coming to town tomorrow, and we want everybody to take note of the start time tomorrow. It's a Labor Day, 1 o'clock start. 1:08 will be the first pitch. We'll come on the air at noon. And the pregame shows at 12:30. So the Yankees and the O's are beginning of a 3-game set to end the longest homestand of the year. So far, the Yankees have done nothing but win on the homestand. 6 in a row on the stand. 8 in a row overall. That one is driven out to right field. Colson's getting work. He puts it away, and the runners retreat. Now, the Yankees had good community involvement today. They offered free skin cancer screening at one of the gates here at the stadium. People came, and it was like 10, 20 seconds just to check to see if you might have a skin cancer issue or something that would lead to it. And then they also handed out sunscreen to everybody that walked into the stadium. So that's a great, great initiative. And that's part of some cancer awareness events that are going on this month at the stadium. Bautista takes high. Anyway, John, I wanted to ask you a question about the Orioles. They're 5 games over 500 over Buck Showalter, or under Buck Showalter. And when he took over, I believe they were something like 40 games under 500. And I asked Joe Girardi this on the Joe Girardi show, which you'll hear after the postgame. I want to ask you, does a manager make that much of a difference?
Wow, through the course of 162 games, I guess a manager could probably influence maybe 3 or 4 or 5 games. Either way. But, I think the situation in Baltimore is totally different. And Juan Samuel, who was the manager for a little bit there, one of my good friends in baseball, and he's a great baseball man, but he doesn't have that manager's pedigree, where the players, right when Buck Showalter walks in that clubhouse, there's an instant respect. He comes with a lot of credibility. And I'm sure with the young team, they're thinking, I better step it up if I want to be around for this guy. Play the game the right way. And you know Buck better than anybody. I'm sure a lot of it is how they go about their business, maybe more than the performance on the field.
And it's a great point you made about Juan Samuel, who's a good baseball man.
Guy.
They knew he wasn't going to be the manager, so there was no fear about their jobs. Buck signed a multi-year contract coming in. They knew. Adam Jones was quoted saying, "We're afraid. We're afraid to play and make mistakes." 3-0 count on Bautista, so the Orioles coming to town tomorrow. They turn him loose on 3-0, and he hammers it foul. Wow, did he hammer it. He hasn't seen many pitches to hit, so he figured on 3-0 he would.
Well, you have 43 home runs. Manager Cito Gaston will turn you loose. Gets a sinker in. It's a little bit too quick.
Off the facing of the second deck. Three-1. Did he go? No, he did not, said Jim Wolf. So now the bases are loaded for Sergio Mitre. And the Yankees want to keep it right here at 6-2. The Blue Jays have some arms in that bullpen, so they don't want to fall that much more behind. So bases loaded, and Vernon Wells coming to the plate.
Yeah, you're right, Michael. 4 runs. You figure if you're the Yankees, you have 3 innings to try to make something happen. But this is a huge part of this ball game with Sergio Mitre. Sinker baller, you got to start thinking about a ground ball here and take your chances with Vernon Wells. As Casey Jansen getting loose in the Blue Jay bullpen.
Jay's looking to bust this open. And Wells swings and misses. Wells with a 2-run home run in the first inning, grounded to third in the third, and flied out to right in the sixth. This is a new situation for Mitre. This is the first time all year he has had the bases loaded against him. about a week layoff for Mitre, and again, sometimes that manifests itself in location and command.
Yeah, and if you watch his stuff right now, I mean, from a sinker standpoint, he's got good movement, but you're right, Michael, having trouble throwing it where he wants to. Location not as sharp as we have seen.
Count 2-1.
Working himself into a tough count here. Wells, pretty good fastball hitter. If you're Mitre, your best pitch is your sinking fastball. Have to throw one down the middle, trust some movement, and hope you get a ground ball.
And now it's 3-1. This is a big pitch.
Well, such a big pitch. Jorge Posada's going to go out there and have a conversation with Mitre. Make sure they get on the same page. Got to be thinking Vernon Wells looking to do some damage on something middle in, maybe a backdoor sinker on the outer half, get him to roll over, hit a ground ball to Derek Jeter or Alex Rodriguez. Big pitch.
The 3-1. He walked him. That forces in a run.
Nobody getting loose for the Yankees in the bullpen. Sergio Mitre's got to get it figured out pretty quickly, and Dave Island going to come out and have a talk. He went with that backdoor sinker, but it misses down.
Now the bullpen's been used a lot lately, 4 1/3 each of the last 2 games. But to see nobody up here, a little odd. The game is really on the precipice of getting out of hand.
We saw Jonathan Albaladejo getting loose a little while ago, so it wouldn't take him long to get ready. Joe Girardi going to go with Mitre, let him work his way into some trouble and possibly out of it.
Since July 26th, the bullpen has pitched to a 1.57 ERA. And that's low, 1-0. Really working himself into bigger issues in the count 2-1. You don't want to keep walking people, so you're going to end up throwing a pitch over the plate, and then it's big damage. Rolled over on that one and grounded it foul.
Looked like he threw a little change up there trying to get a ground ball.
Here's the 2-2. This could be the double play they're looking for. There's one. And there's two. So Mitre got the ground ball and escaped further damage. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. At the end of 6.5 innings of play, it's time for the 7th inning stretch here at the stadium. Right now, the Blue Jays are leading this one 7-2, but we'll stay where we are to honor America here in the Bronx.
Serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now Kate's first rendition of God Bless America.
With Kimberly Jones. Right here, the Yankees are trailing 7-2, 7-9-0, leading 2-6-0. Rodriguez, Alex, in his return from the DL, an infield single. Phil Hughes won 6 innings, 7 hits, allowed 3 home runs. Hill and Wells, a home run and 3 RBIs each. So that's where we stand. Brett Cecil still on the mound as the Yankees running out of time here as they trail 7-2. Ramiro Pena leads off the count 1-0.
Cecil has thrown 114 pitches in a ball game this year, so he's still got a little room to go to get to that number.
On the Verizon Wireless scoreboard, 7-2. Count 2-1.
Michael, we saw the Toronto Blue Jays shut Brandon Morrow down for the month of September, and I'm sure they're going to be careful with Cecil the rest of the way. Some good young pitching in this rotation. Protect them here in the month of September.
I guess there's more of a field to protect somebody, John, when they throw really lights out hard, like Java and Phil Hughes and Brandon Morrow. I guess with Brett Cecil, does he really need? Do we really need to worry about it? As that one trickles off the glove of Hill into right field, another base hit for Pena. He's 2 for 3. Tomorrow's starting pitchers brought to you by Fios TV, Internet, and Phone. It's time for Fios. Brian Mattis goes for the Orioles. Their youngster, 7-12, 4.72. A.J. Burnett coming up a very strong start. 6 innings, a season high, 8 strikeouts. He gets started for the Yankees, 10-12, 5.15. And our coverage will begin at noon on Yes. Brett Cecil threw 93 in a third innings last year. He's thrown 152 in a third this year, including today. You would think they've got to think about it.
You know, they definitely do. And Brandon Morrow was a reliever, so him being a starter this year, the innings have really increased. But that number there, what is that, 50?
That's a lot. That's 59. That's a lot. I mean, they say that they don't want you to increase more than 35 to 40 each year.
We talked about this the first couple of games. The Blue Jays are not going to make the playoffs, so obviously it's a little bit easier for their organization to shut down some of their young pitchers. The Yankees don't quite have that luxury with Phil Hughes. We'll see how it plays out.
Count 1-1 to Gardner. Gardner is 1 for 1, had a sac fly, also a walk for the 10th straight game. Count 2-1. Popped up, shallow left. Coming on is Snyder. He makes the play. That'll bring up Derek Jeter and bring Cito Gaston out of the dugout. And this could do it for Brett Cecil. And it looks like he has made the signal. So Brett Cecil with a strong 6 1/3. He leaves trailing 7-2. The runner at first is his responsibility. Come on back to yes. The official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. Well, they bring in the right-hander Casey Jansen to face Derek Jeter. Derek so far today is 0 for 2 with a walk. Those are the numbers on Brett Cecil. 6 1/3, 7 hits, 2 runs. The runner at first, his responsibility. Walk 4, struck out 3. He threw 102 pitches. Nice performance by the young left-hander.
Yeah, the 4th time the Yankees have seen them this year, and he has pitched very well against the Yankees every time out. I'm sure they're not disappointed to see him get out of this ball game.
Those are the numbers on Jansen. 56 strikeouts in 62 innings. And there's a strike, fastball. Pena's at first, 1 man out, bottom of the 7th, 7-2 Blue Jays. Count 1-1.
We saw Jansen in the first game of this series. A good fastball, nice tight slider. Derek Jeter 0 for 6 in his career against Jansen. Cito Gaston going with a little matchup.
Right in on the hands. Count 1-2. Blue Jays with 9 hits, Yankees with 7. No errors in the game. Time is called. The 1-2. And Jeter cannot hold up. He swings through the fastball, and he is down on strikes.
Well, this is a great job by Casey Janssen right here. Pitch before, he just stood on the pitcher's mound until timeout was called, and then he quick pitched Derek Jeter with a fastball up. The whole timing and a pitch out of the strike zone, a check swing, he cannot hold up. First base umpire Jim Wolf making the call.
Here's Mark Teixeira. Walked twice, grounded out once. Count 1-0. Grounded just foul. Yep, he got the ball. Teixeira is 1 RBI away from making it 7 straight years of 30 and 100. Rodriguez, who's on deck, has 13 of those years. Boy, Alex has some work to do if he's going to do it again. Obviously, he'll get to 100 ribbies at 97 right now, but he has 21 home runs.
The timing of that injury, too, with the calf problem is really swinging the bat. Home runs are starting to show up a little bit more frequently.
The 2-1. But you can never count him out, John, because remember, he came into that final inning of the final game against Tampa Bay with 28-93, and he ended up with 2 home runs in 1 inning and 7 RBIs. So he has defied the odds before. The 2-2. How about this stat, though? If he gets 3 more ribbies, he becomes the first player in Major League history with 14 100 RBI seasons. I would assume he'll get 3 more if he stays healthy. And the count 3-2, so that's going to release Pena at first. Overbay backs up, guarding the line at first, guarding against the extra base hit. Runner goes. Check swing. Did he go? Did he go? No, he did not. Said Ed Hickok, so a walk to Teixeira. That'll bring up Alex Rodriguez. Alex, in his comeback off the DL, a fielder's choice ground out to third. Slow roller up the first baseline, then an infield single on a slow roller to third. That really tested the previously strained left calf. And a strike.
It looked like Alex trying just to get a look at some pitches early in some counts here, and you see the numbers against Jansen, 2 for 7. Michael tough enough to hit major league pitching, and not going down on a rehab assignment, just facing Andy Pettit yesterday makes it a little tougher.
Yankees 2 for 6 with runners in scoring position today. The Blue Jays 1 for 7. The Blue Jays have those 3 home runs. 1-1. 2-1. The 2-1. There's a base hit to center field. Pena will score. Alex Rodriguez picks up his 98th ribby, an RBI single, and the Blue Jays now lead 7-3.
2-out base hit for Alex Rodriguez. Nice short, simple swing, and the hitters count 2-1. He gets a fastball. Does not try to do too much. Ball jumps off his bat. Scored Pena easily from second base.
So he's going to, Cito Gaston's going to take out Jansen and signal to the bullpen to try to match up with somebody better against Marcus Timms. Yankees trail 7-3, but still alive.
The clock, U.S. Open and Wimbledon tennis champ John McEnroe sits down to talk about his career. And then on Wednesday, controversial Cowboys Hall of Famer Michael Irvin joins the candid conversation. It's GMC Presents Center Stage with Michael Kay, only on Yes. Did you get Michael Irvin to cry? Did he cry?
He got very emotional. You'll have to watch to see if he cried. I'm not going to give the show away. Here's Josh Reneke.
Giving the whole thing away. Ask one question.
He got emotional.
All right.
Reneke up and down this year. This will be his 10th game with the Blue Jays, 1-0. A lot of walks in 12 and 2/3 innings, but about a strikeout per inning.
Facing a very hot hitter in Marcus Timms here with 2 outs.
Reneke with AAA Las Vegas, 9-1, 3.64 in 36 games. Now 1-0. Foul back. Tampa Bay has moved ahead of Baltimore 5-4, top of the 6th inning at Camden Yards, and the Red Sox lead the White Sox 2-1 at the bottom of the 6th inning at Fenway. Right in on the hands.
Doing a good job crowding Marcus inside with the fastball. Throwing right over the top, a little high arm angle. Keeping that fastball true inside to the righty, Marcus Timms.
Josh Renicky is the son of former Major Leaguer Gary Renicky. The 1-2. Foul back. And the Blue Jays got him from the Reds in the deal that sent Scott Rowland to Cincinnati. And Rowland's had such a positive effect on that team. Timms today is 1 for 3. Scored a run. Teixeira at second. A-Rod's at first. 2 men out. The 1-2. Outside 2-2.
Renicky likes his fastball coming right at Marcus Timms.
The 2-2. Popped him up. In the infield. And John McDonald makes the play for the final out. So Renicky comes on to get the final out. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left. We go to the 8th. Blue Jays 7-3. Asking you to vote along with us for the Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772 or vote online at yesnetwork.com. Today's candidates are number 1, Aaron Hill, number 2, Vernon Wells, number 3, Brett Cecil, and number 4, Brett Gardner. Vote now and make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. We go to the 8th inning on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in New York City, and it's 7-3 Blue Jays. John Buck against Sergio Mitre in his 2nd inning of work. Pitch outside. Swing and a miss.
See if Mitre is a little bit sharper here this second inning of work. Got good action on his sinker, but again behind a lot of counts. The 7th inning.
Line into center field. Gar Anderson will put it away with the first out. That was me trying to cover up for the fact that I was going to say Gardner, so I said Gar Anderson.
You played it off beautifully.
Yeah, thanks.
Beautifully.
Thank you. We got Gardner, Granderson, and Golson. A lot of G's out there. I apologize. I was not trying to roll the R in Granderson. Pitch is low to Lynn. Hot shot to second. Pena. 2 away.
Trade looks a little bit better here in the 8th. I mentioned the long layoff that he had. Pitch at the Chicago White Sox series. Location looks a little bit better here in the 8th.
Here's John McDonald, 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. And a strike. Popped up, first base side. Giving chase is Teixeira. And an easy 1-2-3 inning for Sergio Mitre as the Blue Jays go down in order. 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees trail by 4. Land Rover driving the game. Why get a car when you can own a Land Rover?
Vernon Wells, early in the ball game, first inning, it's a 2-run home run. Pretty much straightaway center field on an 0-2 mistake from Phil Hughes is your Land Rover drive of the game.
And that was a portent of things to come as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Renicky still on the mound. It'll be Posada, Granderson, and Golson. Foul back. Posada today struck out in the second, wrapped into a double play, 6-4-3 in the fourth. Then an RBI double to right center field. That came in the sixth. Count 1-1. Count 1-2.
Seen a lot of good fastballs from Renicky and Marcus Timms. That was a nice slider down and in. Jorge Posada swinging right over the top.
Ground and foul. Posada hitting .265, 17 homers, and he looks to call third strike. Tomorrow afternoon, the Yankees play a holiday matinee against the Orioles right here at the stadium. Coverage starts at noon with batting practice today, presented by Audi, followed by the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then Ken Singleton joins me for all the action. Orioles Yankees tomorrow at noon. Only on Yes, I'm going to miss you.
Ken Singleton coming in, though. I'm sure he's taking the train, the Acela Express from Baltimore.
Yeah.
Probably arriving tonight.
Knowing Ken, he's probably in town already.
Probably listening to every word we say. Ready for a big broadcast tomorrow afternoon.
Got big plans for Labor Day, John?
No, we don't. We really don't have any big plans. Got big plans Tuesday morning, though. The kids get back to school.
You have big plans.
Can you sense the excitement?
It sounds like you're going to have the whole house to yourself.
Outstanding day. Back in the routine.
Grounded to second. Hill bobbles and then throws it by Overbay. He panicked. He still had more time than he thought, and he hurried to throw and threw it right past Overbay.
You see Hill not happy with himself. A routine ground ball right off the heel of the glove. And then you're right, Michael. He bare hands it and rushes to throw a little bit. Hooks the throw past Overbay. Probably had a little more time than he thought. Be an error on Aaron Hill. The Yesmo you see right off the heel of the glove.
Nick Swisher's going to pinch hit for Greg Golson. So obviously he feels good enough to get a couple swings. He's been out with a sore left knee. Pitch outside 1-0. Swisher has been a regular player for obviously the whole year. He's 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter this year.
You know, obviously a good sign that he can pinch hit here, but you know, I'm thinking you got to be careful. You've only pinch hit 2 times all year, and you got a sore left knee. You got to make sure you're loose and ready for this at bat. The last thing you'd want to see is Nick Swisher get hurt here. Obviously feeling good enough for a pinch hit appearance.
And we've said this before, the way this stadium is built and all the amenities that are available to both teams, there's a full batting cage right off the Yankee dugout. So you can really test yourself out and get yourself loose before you're called on to pinch hit. And this is where we think the injury came from.
A little cut fastball from Casey Jansen, fouled off his back leg, and here coming out of the box hitting right-handed is front knee. A little hitch in the giddy up.
And he was quickly replaced by Granderson, but then hit 2 home runs after replacing him. Now, as a pinch hitter in his career, Swisher just 2 for 17. It's hard to pinch hit when you're an everyday player. It's not an easy job. It's certainly something that you have to adapt to and learn. The 1-1. Fouled off. 1-2. Lance Berkman is ready to pinch hit for Ramiro Pena. I'm sure the Yankees don't want to use Cano. They want to give him a full day off. Now they will in the 9th inning if they need to. But he needs to have a day off, and that's been part of his problem at the plate. He was not in the starting lineup today. No injury. Nick Swisher was because of his knee. The 1-2. 2-2.
See Robinson enjoying his day off. Got a couple of hits yesterday, Michael, but the swing's still not his A swing. They're refreshed enough to be in there tomorrow afternoon. We'll look forward to that.
And Nick Swisher has worked the count full at 3-2. It helps when you're a pinch hitter to see a lot of pitches, and now he's worked the count full. And it's the 95th full count for Swisher this year. Dribbled slowly to first base. Overbay will back up and make the play. He tags Swisher as Granderson moves to second.
Take a look at Nick Swisher coming out of the box to see how that leg is feeling. You can see not 100%.
With another day game tomorrow, and the way he moved right there, you wonder if he'll be in the lineup tomorrow against Mattis. So now, Lance Berkman is going to pinch hit for Pena. Berkman has swung the bat a lot better since coming up the DL with a sprained ankle, but now Cito Gaston wants to bring in a left-hander to spin Berkman around to the right side where he's a lot weaker average-wise. So you can see that Gaston really wants to win this game and salvage the final game of this 3-game set. Renicky does a good job. He leaves a runner at second and 2 outs. We'll be back. down all the action of this American League East series and then take a look at the playoff battles happening around the major leagues. It's all coming up later on the WB Mason postgame. It's only on Yes. So obviously, they have the same numbers we have, and they know that Lance Berkman is not as good a hitter from the right side as he is from the left. So then they bring on the left-hander, Jesse Carlson, to turn him around.
Carlson does a great job against lefties. 1 for 12 this year, but right-handers hitting .350. Only has 8 2/3 innings.
Runner at second. And Berkman, the last, I think, 5 times he's come to the plate, has swung at the first pitch.
It's an amazing memory for you right there. Aggressive hitter.
There's a strike. This year, against left-handed pitchers, he hits .189. Against righties, he hits .259. Baltimore is now taking a 7-5 lead over Tampa in the bottom of the 6th inning. Count 1-2 as Berkman held up. Those are the numbers we told you about. And the 1-2. Grounded to short. Deep in the hole. Backhanded by McDonald. And he throws to first to get Berkman for the final out of the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left. Let's take this baby to the 9th. It's 7-3 Blue Jays. Says Nooney. So that was the first we'd heard of that. So now Nooney. And there's Kernsey in right. Snyder swings and misses. Now, we've asked you this before, John, but for our new viewers, how did you get Flash? Ground ball up the middle and through for base hit.
So base hit, get me off the hook?
No.
would have been a combination of lack of speed.
Right.
Flaherty, the back last name, maybe.
So you're really not certain?
Oh, I'm certain, but I can't.
Oh, you can't tell the real story. Oh, okay.
To get in a lounge somewhere, bar, conversation.
I wonder if it's almost for the same reason that the manager is bringing in his Orioles got his nickname, Buck Showalter. Because he was always working out and then taking a shower, and he'd walk around, and one of the coaches called him Buck Naked. So then he became Buck.
Actually, the person who gave me the nickname Flash, you'll appreciate this because your niece is going to Boston College.
Both of them.
And this young gentleman was a left-handed pitcher with Boston College, gave me the nickname Flash on my first day of professional baseball in the minor leagues with the Red Sox.
Wow.
Intriguing.
Line drive. Oh, what a play by Teixeira. And he tags out Snyder for the double play. He never fails to disappoint with a sparkler in the field.
Dwayne Wise gets a sinker down and hits an absolute bullet. Mark Teixeira reacting, going to his right. And then Snyder's going to be hung up for the double play. Good look on Yesmo. A great jump off the bat. Full extension. Nothing Snyder can do.
Working on the second straight Gold Glove here with the Yankees. Here's Aaron Hill. The pitch is high. Good play by Texie. Count 2-0. Hill had a double in the first, a home run in the third, a sac fly, and then a fly ball right.
Yeah, trying to salvage his season with a big month of September. Obviously, 22 home runs, impressive, but he had 36 last year.
High pop up. A-Rod toward the stands, and it's out of here. Kevin Gregg getting ready to close it for the Toronto Blue Jays. Grounded to third. Backhanded by Alex Rodriguez. The long throw. And Teixeira could not come up with the scoop. They'll give him a hit. So 3 hits for Aaron Hill.
It's only natural you're going to pay attention to Alex Rodriguez. First game back with that calf injury. Does a nice job planning on the back leg. Short hop. Mark Teixeira can't come up with it. It's going to be ruled a base hit. It looked like it would have been a bang-bang play either way if Mark comes up with that.
Probably had him. Couldn't come up with the scoop. Well, that'll do it for me, Trey. Joe Girardi's going to call to the bullpen. And with Jose Bautista due up, he's bringing in Jonathan Albaladejo to get the final out of the top of the ninth. Stay right here. 7-3. They're looking for a little bit more. They have a runner on first base after an infield hit, and that knocked out Sergio Mitre, so they bring in Jonathan Albaladejo. And we've told you numerous times what type of season Albaladejo had at Scranton Valley AAA, and now he faces Jose Bautista. And he throws behind Bautista and hits him, so Bautista will take first.
Yeah, Albaladejo tried to drop a first pitch curveball in there to Bautista. Likes a fastball first pitch, got away from him. Little spinner.
Well, unless this game goes into extra innings, Bautista has gone homerless for a fourth straight game for the first time since July 21st through the 25th. He's had a great year. Best year of his career. So here's Vernon Wells now, first and second. Hey.
It's about time. That's the first one today. What's going on?
I've kind of called off the dogs. It seems like I don't want it to be about me. It's about the Yankees and the Blue Jays job.
It's a little boring, though. I enjoyed the best announcer ever yesterday. Ever.
I knew it was a little bit of a problem when Nick Swisher came up to me today and said, "What's the deal with all the Michael Casemans in the stands?" I said, "I really don't know."
No, you said you'll find out. You'll find out. Just keep watching.
The 2-0. And I have found during the commercial the real story behind John Flaherty's nickname, and I'm going to get it to everybody on my Twitter account. But I don't have a Twitter account, so they'll never know. Seven, 11-1 for the Blue Jays. 3-8-0 for the Yankees. And if we look ahead to the bottom of the ninth, the Yankees have the top of the order. But Albaladejo must get this final out. There's a strike.
Now, watching Albaladejo come up here, and you mentioned the big year that he had at Scranton AAA, his fastball is pretty much straighter than I remember it being when he was up with the Yankees earlier in last year. He used to have a good two-seamer. You see the 43 saves. What a year he had. 1.42 ERA, 82 strikeouts. But the fastball a little straighter and truer here in the big leagues. There's that big curveball sweeper.
Well, usually that's a bad thing, right, John?
Yeah, with those numbers, I was kind of looking maybe he'd have a little bit more movement, a little bit more velocity. But it looks like his fastball is a little straighter, and I guess with that, you would think his location probably improved. A lot of strikeouts for that amount of innings. Big save number.
Runners go, and the pitch is swung and missed. So Albaladejo gets out of problems. No runs a hit, no errors hit. 2 men left. Do the Yankees have a rally in their bones? Stick around and find out. to smile about. Do the Yankees rally here? Let's see. Oh, that's very sweet. Okay, here we go. Brett Gardner will lead off. Gardner is 1 for 2. Yankees trail 7-3. And Kevin Gregg, their closer, will try to close it for the Blue Jays. And Gardner shows bunt, takes low, and 30 saves for Gregg. 52 strikeouts in 48 in the third innings.
Kind of a short armor for a closer. Doesn't have that long arm swing, almost like he's throwing darts. A good year for the Blue Jays. The Yankees obviously down by 4. You need some base runners. Try to get somebody on there for Alex Rodriguez, Marcus Timms, Jorge Posada. Take your chances.
Yankees' 8-game winning streak is in jeopardy. And the count 3-1.
Be expecting Brett Gardner to take again right here in a 3-1 count. He's looking for base runners.
Brett's already walked in the 5th inning, his 10th straight game with a walk. Derek Jeter is on deck. Gregg deals the 3-1. There's a strike, 3-2. In 10 games against the Yankees in his career, Gregg has a 4.41 ERA. Sporting a 3.35 right now. And the pitch. Slice foul.
We talked a little bit about this yesterday. You have the shadows starting to creep in. Get a little interesting trying to pick up the baseball out of a pitcher's hand.
Well, he has turned himself into an outstanding leadoff hitter. This is what you want leadoff hitters to do. Work the count, foul pitches off, really get the pitcher frustrated. Let the guys behind you see exactly what the guy's sporting. And the fact that he's led off a couple of games with left-handed starters tell you that that's probably his role.
See, it's like a defensive swing right now, just trying to put the ball in play, make sure it's a strike. Gregg not giving in with a fastball down the middle. They've been right on the corner, so a nice piece of hitting by Brett just to foul him off. See what we talked about with the shadows, from the light to the darkness.
Surge into left field. It is a base hit. It'll go into the corner. Snyder plays it out there, and Gardner starts off the ninth with a double.
This is what the Yankees are looking for. Get a little life here in the 9th inning, and back-to-back pitches on the outside half. Brett Gardner stays inside, drives it the other way. A leadoff double.
So here's Derek Jeter. He is 0 for 3 so far today. He's 4 for his last 41, and on this homestand, he's 3 for 23. But he has a walk today. And that average is the lowest it's ever been this late in the season in his career at 264. For Gardner, it was a 9-pitch at bat. He leads the team with 4.63 pitches per plate appearance as Jeter fouls it back. Derek with 277 hits against Toronto, the most he has against any opponent. Count 1-1. Yankees are down 7-3, trying to keep their winning streak alive, trying to sweep the Blue Jays out of New York. The 1-1. 2-1.
Two good takes for Derek Jeter back to back. Doesn't look like he's having any problem picking the ball up with the shadows. Mark Teixeira on deck.
Driven into right center field. Wise is there, and he'll put it away. Now, you never want to celebrate an out, John, but that was more Jeterian than we've seen in a while.
Yeah, you know, the two takes before the swing, too, were probably the most balanced takes that we've seen Derek have. The swing, fastball right down the middle. You're right, Michael. That's what we're used to seeing. Even though it's an out, swing definitely better.
Here's Teixeira. Pitch outside. Count 2-0. Two and one. And the count 3-1 with Alex Rodriguez on deck. The Yankees need base runners. Now, Teixeira does not have great numbers against Greg. 3 for 14, but 2 of the 3 have left the ballpark. They don't need a home run right here. They'll take it, but they need base runners.
Greg getting a little cute right there. 2-1 split finger that he bounced.
Another full count. Gardner's at second. He led off with a double. Jeter flied out to right. Now a 3-2 count on Teixeira. Driven deep to left center field. Going back, Snyder. Still back, and he makes the play on the warning track. Gardner tags. He'll go to third. So Teixeira gave it a ride, but the ballpark held it in.
Mark's had a good day, a bunch of walks, so we'll take a look at this. Out over the plate, a fastball. Well, maybe he got it up in that jet stream, might carry it out of here to left center. It does not. Snyder right back on the beginning of the warning track, makes the play. Brett Gardner advances to third.
Here's Alex Rodriguez, last hope for the Yankees. He drove in a run in the 7th inning, an RBI single. This is his first game back off the DL. There's a strike put on the DL on August 21st. And today's September 5th. Nice block there by Buck. He saves a run.
It's like a little slider down and away. Buck still doesn't get himself in great blocking position, but hits off his shin guard, gets a job done. Tough for a catcher to pick a ball up as well with these shadows.
The 1-1. Inside 2-1. On deck, Marcus Timms. Then after that, if it gets to that, Posada. And if it gets to Posada, then Posada would be the tying run. Greg's the closer for the Blue Jays. This is not a save situation. 4-run lead here in the 9th. Foul back. They've got a barn burner at Camden Yards. The Orioles lead the Tampa Bay Rays 8-7. Yankees have a 2.5 game lead over Tampa Bay coming into play today. And at the top of the 8th inning, Boston leads the White Sox 4-3. Trying to salvage the final game of that 3-game set. The 2-2. Strike 3, ball game over. And the Yankees lose this one 7-3. In the 9th inning, no runs, a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. And that loss snaps an 8-game home winning streak for the Yankees, as well as an 8-game overall winning streak. You got to stick around for the postgame show to find out who's today's Chevy player of the game. That looked like the umpire wanted to get home. It was certainly off the inside corner. Fielding Culbreth rings up Alex Rodriguez, and the Blue Jays get Brett Cecil a victory, and they squeeze one win out of this 3-game set against the Yankees. Well, we have a play of the game to tell you what's going on with that. And then after that, you'll have Nancy Newman and Kimberly Jones on the WB Mason postgame show. Yankees lose this one 7-3. We come back to wrap things up in just a moment on Yes.